So a small, very small teaser for Dunkin' Egg has been released, and I will give my reaction to that first, and then give some of the broader contextual news where it is at and House of the Dragon. I won't go into the future projects because that would make the video too long, but I will give an update on that soon enough. So, what to make of this? Well, it's not much. It is only literally just a few seconds, but still, it is very, very impressive. So, at least the lead actor for Dunk looks very formidable, looks very right for the role. Egg, I think, is a bit of a question mark. We'll have to wait for more fuller scenes. How does he sound? How's he going to interact with other characters? There's a lot of twists with Egg. It's a lot to put on a small actor and a very young actor. However, although I didn't like The Hunger Games recently, he did a pretty good job in that one. That's his more recent role. I do expect very, very great things, and everything seems to be very on point. Locations, cinematography, the sword fighting, choreography, everything seems right. So, why do you detect a small hint of cynicism or doubt in my voice? Well, without getting into any spoilers or details, season 2 of House of the Dragon has gotten more and more mixed reception. It seems there's general consensus, which again I don't share, but I just want to give the general consensus that the first couple episodes were really spectacular, really well done, but steadily the show got worse and worse and worse, and the season finale has almost universally disappointed a lot of people and created a lot of confusions with the canon. And again, Game of Thrones also had canonical confusions, even when they didn't follow the books. Even their own lore doesn't quite add up. So it's a lot of question marks about where the Gurm verse is going. And this is, I think, where Dunkin' Egg will definitely probably be a near perfect series because, again, just in the nature of things, Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon deals with such big, epic issues, entire armies, the fate of Westeros, how does Westeros deal with the other countries? It's just massive. And then you have the dragons. So just the demands of the production are huge, huge. Except for the first two seasons, Game of Thrones, throughout its entire run, you can argue about the story, but production wise, it looked and felt incredibly epic. It just looked and felt like this is a very large universe. But again, House of the Dragon is sort of in between. They have to show you a lot for things to get going in terms of the plot. They have to show you as much of Game of Thrones, but still, it feels just very off. Even when they share the same directors, it now feels very tonally and visually very much set apart. So it doesn't feel like a very singular, cohesive universe. Again, that's not always a good thing. The MCU is one quote universe, but it has really good parts and really, really bad parts. So just tying everything to one universe is not necessarily a good thing. That said, canon is a thing. So if you are very into the canon, it does feel a little bit all over the place. And again, Dunkin' Egg does have a bit of a breather there. It's set before Game of Thrones, but after House of the Dragon, technically Westeros is at peace. And because of the way it's set up, we could actually see either the original characters and actors from Game of Thrones or just younger versions of the characters, but they might still be able to employ the same actors, just use things by de-aging people. There's a lot of treats and cameos that Dunkin' Egg can take advantage of, and I think that's where House of the Dragon is very radically different, that they're trying to do the same thing, but given the timeline, and also given the Benioff and Weiss, just the way they did their production, have sort of locked in certain stories, it just feels really weird or confusing when they try to do cameos and or Easter eggs. It doesn't feel like Deadpool or Wolverine. It just feels like just very weird stuff is happening for no apparent reason. So I'm very hopeful with Dunkin' Egg. I think Dunk certainly looks great for the role. We'll have to wait for the other actors and for them to be more featured. I mean, Egg looks good, but how's this going to work out in terms of story? Because there are quite a few twists. I don't want to ruin them for people. Like, even Egg's name is a bit of a spoiler. If you know the lore, you're like, oh, okay. He's called Egg because of this. There's a lot to get into. It is a very, very impressive first look. But again, I keep wondering how, when we all put it together, if you're going to be a fanatic and watch all these things, it just won't feel like really one universe. It just feels like what it is, three separate universes, all of them of very different, varying quality. But so far, so good for Dunkin' Egg. So I'm very, very pumped for it when it comes out. And I will keep people updated on every little detail as they emerge. Please keep it here. Please like and subscribe. I will give further updates on Westeros and the lore. Thank you for listening. Please be well.